Hello everyone, myself am Russell Mahmood, a PhD candidate from University of Texas San Antonio in the USA. I'm very happy to share our research work, auditory, vibrotactile, or visual, investigating the effective feedback modalities to improve standing balance in immersive virtual reality for people with balance impairment due to type 2 diabetes. Virtual reality techniques are becoming more popular day by day in many sectors like rehabilitation, education, and entertainment. However, VR causes imbalance issue for healthy users, which is severe for people with disabilities, especially for people with balance impairments, because people with balance impairment usually have some balance issues, and added imbalance by VR make it difficult for them to get benefit from consumer VR applications. To solve the issue, we evaluated effects of different auditory, vibrotactile, and visual feedback on balance in VR. The purpose of this research is to make immersive VR more accessible. There are several motivations behind this work. Most prior research has confirmed the imbalance effect, but minimal research has been conducted to reduce this effect. Also, most previous research was focused on users without balance impairments. However, we have included users with balance impairment and users without balance impairments in our study. Most of the rehabilitative approaches to improve balance in VR have either not used head-mounted display or are constrained to seated tasks. However, we used head-mounted display and included standing tasks in our study. We had 50 participants in our study. 25 of them are balance impairments due to diabetes and 25 are without balance impairments. For auditory feedback, we had 4 study conditions. For spatial audio, we used specialized white noise from Unity 3D using Google Resonance Audio SDK. Static response audio was the white noise played in HMD head-mounted display headphones. Rhythmic audio was the white noise played at every 1 second interval. For the center of pressure audio, similar to the static response audio, but the pitch and stereo band change based on the center of pressure path obtained from the balance board. For the vibrotactile feedback condition, basically we use the same audio from the auditory feedback condition and used a audio to vibrotactile software to convert the audio feedback to vibrotactile feedback. So for spatial vibrotactile feedback, we use the spatial audio to get the spatial vibrotactile feedback. And for static rhythmic and COP vibrotactile feedback, we also use the same static rhythmic and COP audio condition. And the right figure shows the vibrotactile motor positions. In our study, we had 40 motor for the front and back side. And we also had 6 motor in each hand and also had 6 motor on the forehead part. For the visual feedback conditions, we had 4 conditions. For a static visual condition, this was a virtually static response, which is a plus sign surrounded by 4 boundaries on the front wall that was affixed to the user's view in VR, which has been shown in figure B. And for rhythmic visual feedback, it was similar to the static frame condition, except the virtually static frame was shown at every 1 second interval instead of continuously. For spatial visual feedback, which has been shown in figure D, the texture was affixed to the wall with this time and was not moving with the participant's view. For the center of pressure visual feedback, the boundaries of the texture are shifted outward to indicate the increased deviation of the center of pressure. So when participants move to their left, right, front, or back, the COP velocity was increased and the texture in the corresponding side was shifted outward. We use the standing recent graph stacks for this study. Participants different graphs, real and virtual objects in random order on the table. Also, participants brought the cubes to the chest level using the controller, then release the trigger of the controller when returning the cube to its original position. For the study procedure, we just shown the visual feedback study condition, but we had basically 3 different study. First one was the auditory feedback, then second one was the vibrotactile feedback, and third one is the visual feedback. But the study procedure was the same, only we changed the type of feedback we provided. So For all three different studies, at first we introduced the study procedure and participants signed the consent form. Then participants completed COVID-19 screening questionnaire form, ABC scale, and a P-session SSQ form. Then participants performed the standing visual expression tasks and standing recent graph tasks in real world for 3 trials. Then participants started the VR tasks with the visual feedback, audio feedback, and vibrational feedback, and perform the same 2 tasks in VR. And for each condition, they performed 3 trials. At the end, participants completed a post-session SSQ form and a demographic questionnaire. Finally, we paid participants $30 per hour. We had 3 metrics. Central pressure velocity is the primary metrics for our study. We also had ABC scale, which is 16 item questionnaires to measure participants' physical ability. We also used simulator sickness questionnaire, which is also 16 item questionnaire, which to measure server sickness. We used survey test and found the data are normal. Then we used 2/6 mixed model ANOVA to find any significant difference in safety velocities. Finally, we used post-hoc totality test to find a specific difference in safety velocities between any 2 conditions, to measure the increase in cyber sickness and to measure the increase in physical ability. This is the result for participants with balance impairments. We can see for the special condition, the static and for the special and COP condition, the auditory and auditory biotactile or auditory spatial auditory biotactile spatial auditory and spatial biotactile outperform special visual condition. Also spatial COP audio and COP biotactile outperform COP visual. However, for static and rhythmic condition, visual feedback outperform auditory and biotactile. We found the similar result for participants without balance impairments. When I compared the effect size, we found the auditory feedback had greater effect, in general, had greater effect than biotactile and visual feedback, while biotactile feedback had greater effect than the visual feedback. We found similar result for participants without the IQ. So we found significant effect of feedback condition that change with position for auditory, biotactile, and visual. We also found when we had no feedback in VR conditions, the balance of the participants decreased significantly. However, we didn't find any increase in cyber sickness. So in our study, we found that auditory feedback outperformed biotactile feedback, whereas biotactile feedback outperformed the visual feedback conditions. Researchers will be able to better understanding the auditory, biotactile, and visual feedback for maintaining balance in head-mounted displays, virtual environments. In our future work, we'll investigate the multimodal feedback on GH in VR. Add the references. Thank you.